So the 13,000, what's that for?
Today's story is a story of empathy, is a story of a single mother, is a story of babysitting and childcare, is a story of entitlement, and so many more stories. So you know how some parents feel maybe their child is not learning enough or perhaps needs extra support in certain subjects like maths, English, or reading, or any of those core subjects. And as such, meet with the class teacher or the head of school to say, Mom, please, are you able to spend extra time with my child after school to support him with reading? Because my child is really behind. And the teacher says, okay. And then they both come up with an agreement. Yes, I know growing up, most of us attended after school lessons, while some of us had teachers who spent one-on-one time with us. This lesson takes place within the school premises, while for others, is the teacher who goes to the child's house to spend one-on-one teaching with the child. Yes, I remember I and my siblings, we had one teacher that comes to our house then, and we called him My Chest Has Broken. So apparently, there was a day he was coming to teach us, and he had a very tiny accident. I can never forget that day. If you know about temperaments, you know that sanguines are a very funny set of people, and they are very dramatic about things. So this was exactly the case of our lesson teacher then. He was so dramatic with the whole thing, and after that incident, we started calling him My Chest Has Broken. So for Miss Katherine Finkle and Miss Angela Lewis, it happened that Miss Finkle had asked Miss Lewis, her son's class teacher, who was also offering reading lessons for the children after school that only lasts for an hour 15 minutes, to help her tutor her son Richard, who was in grade 6 for the second time. She asked her to tutor the child twice a week after the school closes at 3 o'clock, meaning since the school closes at 3 o'clock p.m., the reading lesson starts immediately and lasts for an hour 15 minutes. That means by 4:15 should have finished tutoring, and parents are expected to come pick up their child immediately so she too can go home and rest or cater for her own family, right? But in this case, it seems like Miss Finkle also thought that Miss Lewis's other job, apart from being a school teacher, was to babysit her 12 years old son. She didn't understand the aspect of how wanting to go home afterwards, and perhaps thought she could just come in whenever she wants to pick her son. Teacher Lewis got the shock of her life when she would wait endlessly for Miss Finkle to come pick her son, Richard. Guys, guess what? According to Teacher Lewis, Miss Finkle will come like 7:30 in the evening, sometimes 8 p.m. at night, to pick her son up that was supposed to have finished by 4:15. Like, imagine the the time difference.
Okay. What time did you come to the school to pick him up?
Well, sometimes it was around 5:30 and sometimes it was close to 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay. And what time does school end?
It ends at 3.
At 3?
Right.
Okay. She says that she usually gets there somewhere between 5:30 and 6 o'clock.
Lie.
Is there an after school program that your school provides? Are you in charge of that, or how does that
Yes.
work? I'm lost. I'm confused. If the services that she's providing after school ends at 4 o'clock, why do you feel that she's obligated to take?
In Teacher Lewis' head, she's wondering, like, what's going on? For how long am I going to do this? According to her, she doesn't want to leave Richard unattended to because of safety purposes. So there and then, she thought, okay, you know what? No, I'm not going to do this anymore. No, I can't keep up with this. I can't carry on. This is not part of my job. I had to stop this, and I had to stop it now. And as if that was not enough, Miss Finkle will send her series of text messages, asking her questions, everything about Richard, whether it's school related or not. While on the other hand, Miss Finkle claims she and Teacher Lewis had a conversation around it, and Miss Lewis agreed to tutor him for 2 days and then the remaining 3 days to babysit him prior to when she finishes her work and come pick him up.
Your Honor, we spoke about this. My son has Asperger's, which is on the side. We're reneging
She
on
said
that.
that she
would take care of him.
I believe and correct me if I'm wrong or not, I believe that she agreed to do the tutoring after school.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
But that ends at 4 o'clock.
And she said that on the other days and on those days, it was okay for him to stay so that until I could get there to pick him up.
Did you say that, ma'am?
No.
She also claimed that her son had Asperger's, meaning her son's disorder does not make him pick up things as quickly as other children, meaning that is the reason, or that was the reason he's repeating yeses the second time. She claimed that she and Miss Lewis set the tutoring so Richard can get extra help for 2 days and babysitting for the rest of the days. She also stated that her boss requires her to be at work up until 5 p.m. in the evening, and that sometimes she gets stuck in traffic. So that's the reason she comes pick him up 7:30 or sometimes 8 p.m. at night. But on the other hand, Miss Lewis claimed Miss Finkle was all shades of lies, as she never said she was going to babysit Richard. She also said Richard had HGAD and not Asperger's, like the mom claims, because according to her, she sees Richard REP. Here other things Miss Lewis, the teacher, had to say.
Did you?
So for teacher Lewis, she claims she actually wanted to help Richard, but at this point she feels Miss Finkle is just overstepping her boundaries, especially with the fact that she won't pick him up on time. She will send her a series of text messages, whether it's school related or non-school related. And because of this, she's decided to put a final stop to, everything. And now Miss Finkle, she's not having it. She's not cool with it. And she's suing her for, guess how much? 13,000 US dollar for not babysitting her 12-year-old son, Richard. She claimed as a single mother, she could not afford to be paying for the child's school fees at the same time pay for his babysitting. So because of that, teacher Lewis is going to pay her 13,000 US dollars. I honestly love the way the judge handled it.
You're doing good. And
So guys, what do you think about Mifiko suing her son's teacher for 13,000 US dollars? Do you think that was the right thing to do? Also, a lot of people are of the opinion that she's hindering her child's development and abilities. And they're like, why can't a 12-year-old boy not go home by himself? Why does she have to be the one to pick him up at all time? And this set of people claim, I was 9 years old when I started walking home from school by myself, and they advised Miss Fickle not to take her son's independence away, as well as overprotecting him. My question here is, at what age is a child allowed to be left alone in the country where you live, or allowed to go home from school by himself in the country where you live? Please put it in the comment section. Also, there are other set of people that are like, come on, Dumebi, can't you see that she's overwhelmed?
Same as most 12-year-olds, and he really needs somebody to take care of him, and I can't.
Remember, she's a single mother, and Richard is her only child. And again, she's the one paying his school fees all by herself. Come on, let's show some empathy here and advise her to get school bus that can bring his son to his workplace. Also, let's advise her to get a social worker that can come visit her and also help her with resources that are available. So guys, what do you think about this video? Please share all your thoughts down in the comment section. Like this video and share it so others can see it. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. And in my next video, I'll look forward to seeing you. Bye bye.